15 black celebrities who endured horrible marriages. They had fame, fortune, and millions of devoted fans, but behind closed doors, their marriages became emotional prisons. Some endured betrayal, financial manipulation, public humiliation, and terrifying abuse while continuing to smile beneath the spotlight. From music legends to television icons, these 15 black celebrities discovered that success could not protect them from heartbreak at home. A few escaped with little more than courage, others carried the scars for the rest of their lives. Today, Golden Black Legends reveals the painful truths behind marriages that looked perfect to the world. Which story will shock you most, and do you believe fame makes toxic relationships harder to escape? Watch until the end, then share your opinion in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more unforgettable stories. Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams built one of the most recognizable careers in American television by saying what others were afraid to say. After years of success in radio, she launched The Wendy Williams Show in 2008, turning it into one of daytime television's biggest talk shows. For more than a decade, millions of viewers tuned in to hear her signature catchphrase, celebrity gossip, and fearless opinions. She appeared unstoppable, a media powerhouse with fame, fortune, and a marriage that seemed to have survived the pressures of the entertainment industry. Yet behind the applause and bright studio lights, Wendy was quietly enduring a relationship that would eventually unravel her personal life. In 1997, Wendy married Kevin Hunter, who later became both her husband and manager. For years, she publicly defended him, often describing him as her biggest supporter. However, their partnership gradually became more complicated as Kevin took increasing control over both her business affairs and personal life. Friends and industry observers noted that he held significant influence over her career decisions, while Wendy herself later admitted she often ignored warning signs because she wanted to protect her family and preserve her marriage. The turning point came after years of rumors about Kevin's alleged long-term affair. In 2019, those reports were confirmed when it became public that he had fathered a child with another woman. For Wendy, the revelation was devastating. Shortly afterward, she filed for divorce, ending a marriage that had lasted more than 20 years. The divorce settlement included financial arrangements that reflected Kevin's long-standing role in her business, though many details remain private. Rather than focusing on speculation, the public record clearly shows that infidelity became the final reason their marriage could no longer continue. At the same time, Wendy faced growing health challenges unrelated to the divorce alone. She publicly discussed living with Graves' disease and lymphedema conditions that affected both her physical health and ability to continue working. In later years, additional medical diagnoses, including primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia, were announced by her care team. While these illnesses dramatically changed her life, there is no evidence that her marriage directly caused them. Today, Wendy Williams' story stands as a powerful reminder that success cannot shield anyone from heartbreak. She built an extraordinary career through determination and authenticity, yet endured profound personal betrayal behind closed doors. Her journey is not simply about a failed marriage, it is about resilience, facing painful truths, and reminding others that even the strongest public figures deserve honesty, loyalty, and peace. Tina Turner. Tina Turner captivated the world with unmatched energy, unforgettable performances, and a voice powerful enough to define generations of music lovers. From classics like Proud Mary River Deep, Mountain High, and What's Love Got to Do With It, she became one of the best-selling recording artists in history, selling more than 100 million records worldwide. On stage, she symbolized confidence and strength. Away from the spotlight, however, Tina endured one of the entertainment industry's most widely documented abusive marriages, a story she later shared with remarkable honesty in hopes of helping others. Tina met musician Ike Turner in the late 1950s, and the two eventually married in 1962 in Tijuana, Mexico. Together, they built the Ike and Tina Turner Revue, achieving international fame through relentless touring and electrifying performances. Yet while audiences saw a glamorous musical partnership, Tina later revealed a very different reality in her autobiography, I, Tina. She described years of physical violence, emotional intimidation, controlling behavior, and financial dependence that left her feeling trapped despite worldwide success. Ike Turner later acknowledged that he had physically abused Tina during their marriage, though he disputed some aspects of her account. By the mid-1970s, Tina reached her breaking point. In July 1976, after another violent confrontation, she fled with only a small amount of money and a credit card, leaving behind nearly everything she owned. The divorce was finalized in 1978. Rather than seeking Ike's wealth, Tina reportedly requested little beyond keeping her professional stage name, believing that rebuilding her career was more important than financial gain. That decision would become one of the most significant turning points in music history. The years immediately after the divorce were difficult. Tina performed in smaller venues, accepted television appearances, and worked tirelessly to repay debts while rebuilding her reputation as a solo artist. Then came the remarkable comeback. In 1984, the album Private Dancer became a global phenomenon, selling millions of copies and earning multiple Grammy Awards. Its lead single, What's Love Got to Do With It, transformed Tina into an even bigger international superstar than she had ever been before. Tina Turner passed away in 2023 at the age of 83, leaving behind a legacy defined not only by extraordinary musical achievements but also by extraordinary courage. Her story reminds us that escaping a harmful marriage requires immense strength and that life's greatest triumphs sometimes begin only after finding the courage to walk away. Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige built one of the most remarkable careers in modern music by transforming pain into powerful songs. Often called the Queen of Hip-Hop Soul, she has sold more than 100 million records worldwide, won 9 Grammy Awards, and inspired generations with hits such as Family, Affair, Be Without You, and No More Drama. While her career continued reaching new heights, her personal life told a very different story. The marriage she believed would bring stability instead became one of the most painful chapters of her life. In 2003, Mary married her longtime manager Kendu Isaacs. At first, the relationship appeared strong because Kendu managed both her business and career while supporting her publicly. Over time, however, that partnership began to unravel. During divorce proceedings, Mary alleged that Kendu had spent significant amounts of her money without permission and had become involved in an inappropriate relationship with another woman. Those allegations deeply damaged the trust that had held their marriage together for more than a decade. In 2016, Mary filed for divorce after 13 years of marriage. The legal battle attracted national attention when Kendu requested more than $129,000 per month in spousal support. Although the court ultimately awarded temporary payments that were much lower before the divorce was finalized, the lengthy court proceedings became emotionally exhausting. Mary later admitted that she felt completely betrayed by the person she trusted most, both personally and professionally. Instead of allowing heartbreak to define her future, Mary turned that pain into one of the strongest periods of her career. Her album, Strength of a Woman, explored betrayal, healing, and personal growth, while her acting career flourished with acclaimed performances in Mudbound and other major productions. Today, Mary J. Blige stands as a symbol of resilience. Her story reminds us that even the deepest emotional wounds can become the foundation for a stronger future, when courage replaces despair and self-worth triumphs over betrayal. Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston remains one of the greatest vocalists in music history. With more than 220 million records sold worldwide, timeless classics like I Will Always Love You, Greatest Love of All, and I Wanna Dance with Somebody made her an international superstar. To millions of fans, Whitney represented elegance, grace, and extraordinary talent. Yet behind the applause, she endured a marriage filled with emotional struggles that gradually overshadowed one of the brightest careers the music industry had ever seen. Whitney married fellow singer Bobby Brown in 1992 after a whirlwind romance. Together they welcomed their daughter Bobby Christina Brown the following year. Although they appeared to be one of entertainment's most glamorous couples, their relationship soon became dominated by constant media attention, frequent arguments, and shared struggles with substance abuse. Both Whitney and Bobby later acknowledged that addiction became a destructive force within their marriage, affecting their family life as well as their professional careers. Throughout the late 1990s and early 2000s, reports of domestic disputes and personal turmoil regularly filled newspaper headlines. While many details of their private relationship remain disputed, it is well documented that the pressures of fame, addiction, and public scrutiny placed enormous strain on their marriage. In 2006, Whitney filed for divorce, and it became final the following year, bringing an end to nearly 15 years together. Following the divorce, Whitney worked hard to rebuild both her health and career. She completed rehabilitation programs and released the successful album I Look to You in 2009, marking an emotional comeback welcomed by fans worldwide. Sadly, she passed away on February 11, 2012 at the age of 48. The official cause of death was accidental drowning, with heart disease and cocaine use listed as contributing factors. Whitney Houston's legacy extends far beyond her difficult marriage. She is remembered for her unmatched voice, extraordinary influence, and remarkable ability to inspire hope even while facing profound personal challenges. Halle Berry. Halle Berry has spent decades proving herself as one of Hollywood's most accomplished actresses. In 2002, she became the first African-American woman to win the Academy Award for Best Actress for her unforgettable performance in Monsters Ball. Combined with successful films such as Die Another Day, the X-Men series, and John Wick. Chapter 3: Parabellum. Her career has remained among the most respected in the industry. Despite her professional achievements, Halle's search for lasting happiness in marriage proved far more complicated than anyone expected. Her first marriage to former Major League Baseball player David Justice began in 1993 and ended in divorce 4 years later. Although rumors have surrounded their relationship for decades, many claims remain disputed and neither should be presented as established fact. Afterward, Halle admitted she struggled emotionally and sought therapy to rebuild her confidence before eventually opening her heart once again. In 2001, she married R&B singer Eric Benet, believing she had found a fresh start. However, the relationship was soon shaken when Benet publicly admitted to repeated infidelity and later sought treatment for sex addiction. Halle attempted to save the marriage through counseling, but the loss of trust proved impossible to overcome. Their divorce became final in 2005, ending another painful chapter in her personal life. Rather than allowing repeated disappointments to define her, Halle focused on healing, raising her children, and continuing her career. She has often spoken about the importance of self-worth, emotional growth, and learning from past relationships instead of becoming trapped by them. Her honesty has inspired countless people facing similar struggles. Today, Halle Berry's journey represents resilience more than heartbreak. She transformed painful experiences into personal strength while continuing to excel as an actress, director, and producer. Her story reminds us that success in Hollywood cannot guarantee happiness at home, but courage, self-respect, and perseverance can help anyone rebuild after even the most difficult relationships. LaToya Jackson. Growing up as a member of the legendary Jackson family, LaToya Jackson experienced fame from an early age. Although often overshadowed by siblings Michael and Janet Jackson, she established a successful career through music, television, and publishing. Yet, behind the glamorous image was a marriage she later described as years of fear, isolation, and emotional control. What appeared to be a promising relationship became one of the darkest periods of her life. In 1989, LaToya married her manager Jack Gordon in a private Las Vegas ceremony. According to LaToya's later interviews and autobiography, Gordon gradually isolated her from family members, controlled her finances, monitored her professional decisions, and dictated nearly every aspect of her daily life. She also accused him of repeated physical and emotional abuse throughout their marriage. Gordon denied many of those allegations during his lifetime, but LaToya has consistently maintained her account for decades. As the years passed, LaToya said she felt increasingly trapped. She claimed Gordon limited her communication with loved ones, arranged business deals without her consent, and used intimidation to keep her under his control. Many fans misunderstood her public appearances during that period, unaware of the fear and pressure she later revealed she was experiencing behind closed doors. Everything changed in the mid-1990s when LaToya finally escaped the relationship with assistance from trusted friends and members of her family. Their divorce was finalized in 1997, ending nearly 8 years of marriage. Free from Gordon's influence, she slowly rebuilt both her confidence and career. She returned to television, published books, recorded new music, and began speaking openly about domestic abuse and emotional manipulation. LaToya Jackson's story is ultimately one of survival. Instead of allowing years of fear to define the rest of her life, she chose to reclaim her independence and tell her truth publicly. Her journey reminds us that abuse can remain hidden behind fame, and that true strength often begins the moment someone decides they deserve a better future. Robin Givens. Robin Givens became one of television's brightest young stars during the 1980s, earning widespread recognition for her leading role in the hit sitcom Head of the Class. Elegant, intelligent, and charismatic, she quickly became one of Hollywood's rising actresses. But while her professional career flourished, her personal life unfolded under an intense media spotlight. Her short-lived marriage to heavyweight boxing champion Mike Tyson remains one of the most talked-about celebrity relationships of its era, not because of romance, but because of the painful controversy that followed. Robin and Tyson married in 1988 after a whirlwind courtship. At first, the union appeared to combine two of the biggest stars in entertainment and sports. Behind the glamorous headlines, however, the relationship deteriorated rapidly. During a nationally televised interview with Barbara Walters in 1988, Robin described life with Tyson as torture and spoke publicly about experiencing fear within the marriage. She later alleged that Tyson had been physically abusive, claims she repeated in her autobiography. Tyson has consistently disputed aspects of her account, though he has admitted that their relationship was deeply troubled and marked by constant conflict. The marriage lasted less than a year before Robin filed for divorce in 1989. The separation became front-page news worldwide, fueling endless speculation and criticism. For years, Robin faced accusations from some members of the public who unfairly portrayed her as a gold digger, despite the absence of evidence supporting many of those claims. Instead of allowing public opinion to define her, she continued acting in television and film while rebuilding both her career and personal confidence. Looking back, Robin Givens' story reflects the emotional cost of remaining in a relationship that had become unhealthy. Rather than staying silent, she chose to speak openly about domestic violence and emotional trauma at a time when very few public figures discussed those subjects. Her experience reminds us that fame cannot protect anyone from suffering behind closed doors, and that walking away from a painful marriage often requires extraordinary courage. Tisha Campbell. Tisha Campbell has spent more than 4 decades entertaining audiences through unforgettable performances in television and film. Best known for starring in Martin and My Wife and Kids, she became one of America's most beloved sitcom actresses, thanks to her natural comedic talent and warm on-screen presence. Off-camera, however, her marriage to fellow actor Dwayne Martin gradually became one of the most difficult chapters of her life, filled with financial stress and emotional challenges that few fans fully understood. The couple married in 1996 and spent more than 20 years together while raising 2 sons. Throughout much of their marriage, they appeared to represent a successful Hollywood family. Behind the scenes, however, financial problems steadily increased. In 2016, Tisha and Dwayne jointly filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy, with court documents listing debts totaling more than $15 million. The bankruptcy attracted national attention and revealed the severe financial pressure facing the family. In 2018, Tisha filed for divorce after more than 2 decades of marriage. During subsequent legal proceedings, she sought a restraining order alleging emotional and physical abuse. Dwayne Martin denied those allegations. Their divorce also involved disputes over finances and child support, making an already painful separation even more difficult. While many details remained private, the public court filings confirmed that the breakup was far from amicable. Rather than allowing those hardships to define her future, Tisha focused on rebuilding her career and personal independence. She returned to television, expanded her work as a singer and producer, and continued raising her children while maintaining a positive public outlook. Her resilience earned admiration from longtime fans who appreciated her honesty about overcoming adversity. Today, Tisha Campbell's story serves as a reminder that even marriages appearing successful from the outside may conceal enormous struggles. Through determination, hard work, and optimism, she transformed one of life's most difficult experiences into an opportunity for renewal. Her journey demonstrates that true strength is not measured by avoiding hardship, but by finding the courage to move forward after everything seems to fall apart. Vivica A. Fox. Vivica A. Fox has enjoyed one of Hollywood's longest and most successful careers, earning praise for memorable performances in films including Independence Day, Set It Off, Soul Food, Kill Bill, and countless television productions. Known for her confidence and versatility, she became one of the most recognizable actresses of her generation. Yet despite her professional achievements, her brief marriage revealed that personal happiness can sometimes be far more difficult to achieve than career success. In 1998, Vivica married singer Christopher 6ix9ine Harvest after several years together. At first, their relationship appeared promising, and many fans believed the couple had found lasting happiness. However, the marriage quickly began to unravel. In later interviews, Vivica explained that the relationship suffered because of different priorities, communication problems, and the growing realization that they wanted different futures. She has openly acknowledged that she often carried much of the financial responsibility while feeling emotionally unsupported. The marriage lasted only a few years before ending in divorce in 2002. Although the separation attracted media attention, Vivica largely avoided turning it into a public battle. Instead of making sensational accusations, she focused on moving forward with dignity while continuing to build her already successful acting career. Over the years, she has spoken candidly about learning valuable lessons from the experience, including the importance of maintaining financial independence and choosing partners who contribute equally to a relationship. Following the divorce, Vivica experienced one of the strongest periods of her career, starring in Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill and continuing to appear in numerous film and television projects. She also became a successful producer, entrepreneur, and television host, proving that personal setbacks did not define her future. Vivica A. Fox's story reminds us that not every difficult marriage ends with dramatic courtroom battles or public scandals. Sometimes emotional disappointment alone is enough to reshape a person's life. Her journey illustrates the importance of self-respect, independence, and recognizing when it is healthier to leave a relationship than remain in one that no longer brings happiness or mutual support. Tamar Braxton. Tamar Braxton has built a successful career as a singer, television personality, and member of one of R&B's most famous families. As the youngest of the Braxton sisters, she earned widespread recognition through hit reality series such as Braxton family values, and Tamar and Vince, while also establishing herself as a Grammy-nominated recording artist. To viewers, her marriage to music executive Vincent Herbert appeared to be a partnership built on love and shared ambition. Over time, however, the pressures of business fame and personal conflict gradually transformed that relationship into a painful public breakup. Tamar married Vincent Herbert in 2008 after several years together. In addition to being her husband, Herbert also managed important parts of her music career, making their personal and professional lives closely connected. They welcomed their son, Logan, in 2013 and for many years appeared to enjoy a successful family life on television. Behind the scenes, however, persistent disagreements, trust issues, and the demands of the entertainment industry created increasing tension. In 2017, Tamar filed for divorce after nearly 9 years of marriage, citing irreconcilable differences. During the years that followed, both parties made public accusations involving infidelity and emotional strain, though many claims were never legally established. What remains undisputed is that the divorce became emotionally exhausting for both of them and unfolded under intense media attention. Tamar later admitted that the end of her marriage had a profound impact on her mental health, contributing to one of the darkest periods of her life. Despite those challenges, Tamar gradually rebuilt both her career and personal confidence. She continued releasing music, appearing on television, and speaking openly about therapy, depression, and emotional healing. Her willingness to discuss mental health encouraged many fans facing similar struggles to seek help and prioritize their own well-being. Today, Tamar Braxton's story is one of perseverance rather than defeat. Although her marriage ended painfully, she refused to let heartbreak define her future. Instead, she transformed personal suffering into a message of resilience, reminding others that healing is possible even after life takes an unexpected and deeply painful turn. Keek Wyatt. Keek Wyatt has spent more than 2 decades impressing audiences with her powerful vocals and emotional performances. Rising to fame through her successful duet with Avant My First Love, she quickly became one of contemporary R&B's most respected singers. While her music often celebrated love and hope, her own marriage told a far more painful story. Behind the spotlight, Kiki endured years of fear, emotional turmoil, and domestic violence before finding the courage to reclaim her life. In 2000, at just 18 years old, Kiki married her first husband, Rahmat Morton. What began as young love gradually became a relationship marked by repeated conflict. Over the years, Kiki publicly revealed that she experienced physical abuse during the marriage. She has spoken candidly in interviews about living in constant fear and trying to protect both herself and her children. One of the most widely reported incidents occurred when she stabbed Rahmat during a violent confrontation. Authorities determined that she had acted in self-defense and no prison sentence followed. The incident became a turning point, forcing her to confront the reality that the relationship could no longer be saved. After years of emotional and physical hardship, the marriage ended in 2009. Leaving was not easy. Kiki suddenly found herself balancing motherhood, rebuilding her music career, and recovering from years of trauma. Rather than hiding her experiences, she chose to speak openly about domestic violence, hoping her story would encourage other survivors to seek help before it was too late. Professionally, Kiki refused to let heartbreak define her future. She continued releasing music, performing live, and expanding her television appearances while raising a large family. Although life presented additional personal challenges in later years, she consistently demonstrated remarkable resilience and determination. Kiki Wyatt's journey reminds us that abusive relationships do not always begin with obvious warning signs. Sometimes they develop gradually until fear replaces love. Her willingness to survive, heal, and speak publicly about her experiences has transformed personal tragedy into a message of hope. Today, she represents strength, perseverance, and the belief that no one should ever remain trapped in a relationship where safety and respect no longer exist. Ian Lavanzant. Long before Iyanla Vanzant became one of America's most respected inspirational speakers, best-selling authors, and the host of Iyanla Fix My Life, she endured hardships that few people could imagine. Millions know her today as a woman who helps others overcome trauma, but her ability to guide people through pain comes from deeply personal experience. One of the most difficult chapters of her life was her first marriage, a relationship she has openly described as emotionally and physically abusive. Iyanla married her first husband, Yemi Vanzant, while she was still very young. In interviews and her memoirs, she has explained that the marriage quickly became marked by violence, fear, and financial instability. She has spoken about living with an alcoholic husband whose unpredictable behavior created a constant atmosphere of anxiety. As a young mother with limited financial resources, leaving the relationship seemed almost impossible. Instead, she spent years trying to protect her children while struggling to survive emotionally and financially. Eventually, Iyanla found the courage to walk away. The decision left her raising children alone while working multiple jobs to support her family. She has often recalled periods when she faced overwhelming financial hardship, yet she refused to give up on her education or her dream of building a better life. Those difficult years became the foundation for the wisdom she would later share with millions through books, lectures, and television. Instead of allowing bitterness to define her future, Iyanla transformed suffering into purpose. She earned a law degree, became a best-selling author, and later partnered with Oprah Winfrey to reach audiences around the world. Her television programs have focused on healing broken families, overcoming trauma, and encouraging personal accountability, drawing directly from lessons she learned through her own struggles. Iyanla Vanzant's story is far more than a tale of a failed marriage. It is the story of a woman who refused to remain a victim. Through faith, determination, and relentless self-improvement, she rebuilt her life from the ground up. Her journey proves that surviving a painful marriage does not have to define the rest of one's life. It can become the first step toward discovering extraordinary inner strength. Kenya Moore has spent much of her life in the public eye, first earning national recognition after winning the Miss USA 1993 title and later becoming one of the most recognizable personalities on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Intelligent, ambitious, and outspoken, Kenya built successful careers in modeling, acting, producing, and entrepreneurship. Yet despite years of professional achievement, her marriage to restaurateur Mark Daly became one of the most emotionally challenging experiences of her life. In 2017, Kenya surprised fans by marrying Mark Daly in a private ceremony in St. Lucia. The couple welcomed their daughter Brooklyn in 2018, and many believed Kenya had finally found the family happiness she had long desired. However, viewers soon noticed growing tension whenever the couple appeared together publicly. During interviews and on reality television, Kenya frequently described feeling emotionally disconnected from her husband. She openly spoke about communication problems, emotional distance, and the difficulty of maintaining a marriage while balancing demanding careers and living in different cities. By 2019, the couple announced their separation, though they briefly attempted reconciliation before ultimately deciding to end the marriage. Their divorce became increasingly complicated because of child custody matters and disagreements over parenting arrangements. While both Kenya and Mark expressed their love for their daughter, the legal process extended over several years before reaching resolution. Throughout that period, Kenya remained careful not to make unsupported accusations, instead emphasizing that the relationship had become emotionally unhealthy and could no longer continue. Rather than allowing the divorce to overshadow her accomplishments, Kenya focused on raising Brooklyn while expanding her business ventures, including her successful hair care brand. She continued appearing on television, writing, and speaking honestly about self-worth, motherhood, and learning to recognize unhealthy relationship patterns. Kenya Moore's experience reminds us that emotional pain does not always involve dramatic public scandals or criminal behavior. Sometimes a marriage ends simply because trust, communication, and emotional connection disappear. Her story illustrates the importance of knowing when to let go, protecting one's peace, and choosing a healthier future for both yourself and your children. Evelyn Lozada. Evelyn Lozada became a household name through the reality television series Basketball Wives, where her outspoken personality and confidence quickly made her one of the show's biggest stars. While viewers often associated her with glamour and success, her personal life revealed a much more painful reality. Her brief marriage to former NFL wide receiver Chad Johnson became one of the most publicized celebrity relationships of the decade, ending only weeks after it began and forever changing the direction of her life. Evelyn and Chad Johnson became engaged in 2010 and married in July 2012 after a highly publicized romance. Fans expected the couple to enjoy a bright future together, but the marriage collapsed almost immediately. In August 2012, just over a month after their wedding, an argument reportedly escalated into a violent domestic dispute at their Florida home. According to police reports, Chad allegedly headbutted Evelyn during the confrontation, causing a forehead laceration that required medical treatment. He was arrested on a charge of domestic battery, later entered a plea of no contest, and received probation as part of the legal resolution. The incident shocked both sports and entertainment audiences. Evelyn filed for divorce only days later, stating that the trust and safety necessary for a healthy marriage had been permanently destroyed. The divorce was finalized quickly, bringing an abrupt end to a relationship that had seemed full of promise. In later interviews, Evelyn admitted that leaving was emotionally painful but necessary for her well-being. Instead of allowing the experience to define her, Evelyn focused on rebuilding her life. She continued her television career, expanded into business, and became a vocal supporter of domestic violence awareness. She has spoken openly about the importance of recognizing warning signs and refusing to remain in unsafe relationships, encouraging other survivors to seek help without shame. Evelyn Lozada's story reminds us that even relationships that appear perfect from the outside can hide serious problems. Her willingness to walk away after experiencing violence demonstrated remarkable courage. Today, her journey stands as a powerful reminder that personal safety, dignity, and self-respect should always come before public image or the desire to preserve a marriage. Sherri Shepherd. Sherri Shepherd has spent decades making audiences laugh through her work as a comedian, actress, television host, and best-selling author. From memorable performances in sitcoms to her years as a co-host on The View, she earned a reputation for warmth, humor, and honesty. Behind the scenes, however, her second marriage became one of the most emotionally and legally challenging experiences of her life, unfolding through years of public court battles that attracted widespread media attention. In 2011, Sherri married television writer Lamar Sally. Initially, the couple appeared excited about building a family together, and they later decided to pursue surrogacy after experiencing fertility challenges. However, before the child was born, the marriage had already begun to fall apart. Sherri filed for divorce in 2014, citing irreconcilable differences. The separation quickly became far more complicated than a typical celebrity divorce because it involved legal disputes over parental responsibility for the child born through surrogacy. Court proceedings continued for years as both sides argued over financial obligations and legal parenthood. Ultimately, California courts ruled that Sherri was the child's legal mother because she had entered into the surrogacy agreement before the marriage ended. As a result, she was ordered to provide child support despite publicly stating that she did not intend to raise the child after the relationship collapsed. The highly unusual legal circumstances generated extensive national discussion and became one of the most widely reported celebrity family law cases of the decade. Throughout the ordeal, Sherry remained active in entertainment, continuing her work in television, stand-up comedy, acting, and writing. She later rebuilt her career with renewed success, eventually launching her own daytime talk show, Sherry, in 2022. Rather than allowing years of legal conflict to overshadow her achievements, she focused on moving forward while speaking honestly about resilience, faith, and personal growth. Sherry Shepherd's experience demonstrates that not every painful marriage ends with abuse or infidelity. Sometimes prolonged legal battles, broken expectations, and deeply emotional family disputes leave lasting scars. Her story reminds us that healing often requires perseverance and that life can still offer new opportunities even after one of its most difficult chapters comes to an end. Every story you've heard today proves that fame, fortune, and public admiration cannot guarantee happiness behind closed doors. These remarkable Black celebrities achieved extraordinary success, yet many quietly endured betrayal, abuse, heartbreak, or painful divorces that forever changed their lives. Their journeys remind us that true strength is not found in staying trapped, but in finding the courage to walk away and rebuild. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Which story touched you the most, and whose marriage do you believe was the most heartbreaking? Share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another inspiring story from Golden Black Legends. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.